hear me, type I can hear you. If you can hear me, please type I can hear you. Are we together? Happy Sunday, happy Easter. Happy Easter. All right. Happy Easter. So if you can hear me, type I can hear you. Make sure you type in your name and your location. Type in your name and your location. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm sorry. For starting late. Okay, type in your name and your location where you're watching from. I'm sorry for starting late and due to some issues we're having from my own side. But to the glory of God, I'm able to sort out everything. So, good evening. Make sure you type in your name and your location. And please don't forget, if you have any question, you can type in your question and I will answer all your questions. Right? So, today we'll be discussing about one of the most important things in the real estate sector. So, if you are happy to be part of this training, just type I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Type I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. All right. Are we together? Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me, please? Sorry, I'm trying to set my camera. All right. So today we'll be discussing about how to sell. This is one of the most important topic that today I will love to share a lot of things with you, and it's all about selling properties to Nigeria and the diaspora. So this is one of the most powerful. I would say it's one of the most powerful class that if you miss this class, definitely you have missed a lot. And this is to all our real estate, to our realtors, to also real estate developers. One of the most important thing in every business is as long as there is no sales, definitely there is no business, right? You should know that you don't have any business, your business doesn't exist. So we'll be talking about how to sell properties to Nigerians in the diaspora. So guess what? There is something that I notice with most of Nigerian realtors, and you may be asking yourself, why is it that for so long you have been trying to sell properties, but unfortunately you couldn't sell any property, right? So right from January to this month, from January to April, we're in April right now. So how many, if I may ask, how many properties were you able to sell? Right? How many properties were you able to sell? Let me see. Let me see. Type in the comment box. Let me see. How many properties were you able to sell? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. How many properties were you able to sell? So this is one of the most critical things that most realtors, they fail to discover that There is more to this real estate. I'm telling you from experience, I discovered that selling properties to Nigerians in the diaspora is even better compared to selling properties to Nigerians in the country right now. Nigeria in Nigeria, right? So this is one of the most important aspect that you need, as long as you are, knowledgeable about how to sell properties to them. I believe that a lot of you will be saying that, how will I even reach out to these people, right? How will I reach out to these people? But we have different opportunities. We have different platforms. You can take advantage of your social media. Take advantage of social media. You will make a lot of sales, right? Selling to Nigerians in the diaspora. So you can easily sell to Nigerians in the diaspora by taking advantage of this social media, because social media is one of the most important tool as a realtor, whether you like it or not. You don't you don't need any other means of selling properties apart from this social media, because this social media is, you know is a platform that you need to take advantage, by always posting, content that are very, very important when it comes to your niche in the real estate sector. If you could remember, in our previous class, we discussed about different niche in the real estate. So today we'll be looking at how you can, take advantage of this platform and make sales to Nigerians in the diaspora. So please, if you are happy to be part of this class, I want to see you. I want you to type, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And also, if you can hear me, make sure you type, I can hear you, so that I won't be here just talking to myself. This is live on YouTube. So please and please just make sure you pay attention to whatever I'm about to discuss with you. And if you have any question, you can drop your question. So let's focus on this. I came to discover that a lot of realtors, when they reach out to you, it happens to me that some realtors reach out to me. They didn't know that I'm also a realtor, right? Didn't know that I'm a real estate consultant. They reach out to me. All what you could hear is, please, sir, can I want you to buy our properties. Like, damn, are you serious? I should buy your property. Like, sometimes I get confused. You just want me to buy your property. Why? The question is why? Why do you want me to buy your property? And I want you to put yourself in your client's shoes, right? Put yourself in their shoes and begin to reason. Like, if someone reach out to you the way you reach out to your client, how will you feel? What will be your response? This is one of the most important thing, the most important key that you need to put yourself, you know, you need to put yourself in your client's shoe. By the time you are reaching out to any client, you are reaching out to a client, you need to, sit down, analyze things, and then most especially, there are a lot of, that's why you discover that we always get rejection. We get objections from our client. And those objections, they are sometimes, those objections, they are not necessarily, objections from the client, but it depends on how you present yourself to your client, right? And today I'll be teaching you something which is very, very important. One major thing is that, number one thing that you need to do is, you need to present yourself as a consultant, right? As a consultant, if you're presenting yourself to your client, present yourself as a consultant. What do we mean by consultant? When we are talking about consultant, okay, let's take a practical steps. For instance, I believe that a lot of us went to the hospital for one or two things, right? For medical checkup. And when you meet a doctor in his office, How does that doctor attend to you? How does he attend to you? This is one of the most critical thing that you discover that this doctor, he will just give a listening ear to. He just wants you to tell him exactly how you're feeling, right? So if you're getting value, type I'm getting value, I'm getting value. If you are getting value, type I'm getting value, right? And if you can hear me, please type I can hear you. So this is one of the most important thing that you need to do as a realtor. Being a realtor doesn't mean that you are nobody, but you need to upgrade yourself. By the time you're talking to someone as a consultant, you're not imposing that, what you are selling on that person. What you are trying to do is to give that person a reason why he should, you know, invest, right? Give that person the reason why he needs to invest. And most especially when we are talking about investment, when it comes to real estate, we are talking about numbers. We are talking about numbers. Numbers is very important because anything that has to do with investment is because there is nobody that is interested in investing in any property that he or she won't get any return on their investment, right? So please, if you can hear me, type I can hear you. And if you can hear me, please type I can hear you. All right. So, are you getting value? Please, if you are getting value, please type I'm getting value. I'm getting value. So, this is one of the most important things. You discover that a lot of realtors they just reach out to you and then they will just say, "You should buy my property." And this is ridiculous. This is not a good approach, right? By the time, for instance, maybe you know you run a Facebook ad or YouTube ad or Instagram ads, and um, someone reach out to you, right? Someone reach out to you, and the first thing that you need to do is it's not all about saying that uh, this is the account number, this and that, buy the property. No, number one thing is that this person does not know you, right? He doesn't know you. You need to build a good relationship with that person, right? You need to build a very good relationship with that person because building a relationship, I always tell you that people buy because of two major reasons, because they like you and they trust you. Make sure you type like you because they like you and they trust you. I just want you to type in the comment box. Your clients buy properties from you because of two major reasons. One, because they like you. Two, because they trust you. Most Nigerians, they don't like doing business with you as long as they don't trust you or they don't even like you, right? Let's go back to our secondary school days, right? Let me use this as an example. Do you know the reason why most students, if you are a science student here, please type, if you were a science student, please type I was a science student, or if presently you are also a science student, no problem, you can still type you're a science student. Do you know the reason why most students hate their physics, mathematics, and chemistry teachers? Tell me one reason. Just type in the comment box. I just want to see. I want to see your response. I want to see your response. Why? No, mathematics is general, right? It's a general subject. Why? I believe that a lot of you watching this video, back then in your secondary school, you hate your teacher, your mathematics teacher, right? Are we together? Are we together? Can you hear me, please? I believe that we hate our mathematics teachers. The reason is, can you tell me the reason? Can you tell me the reason why you hate your mathematics teacher? The reason is we don't understand the subject. That's number one. And secondly, the number one thing is we don't like mathematics. And anything that you don't like it, you won't even put more, your efforts in learning those things, right? You won't put your, you will not put your effort in learning it. And that's why you will even hate the teacher completely. Anytime, and the worst thing is that by the time we see our mathematics teacher coming into the class, the first thing that we'll do is we'll just frown our face. We are angry with the teacher, we are angry with the subject, and sometimes to an extent that we even ask our teacher, like, what is the essence of this, all this math? What's the essence of this math? Right? But the truth is, I discovered that how important math is so when I secured admission in their institution, and all my life, like my course, I can't do without mathematics, right? Because it happens to be like I studied building technology, so it's more of mathematics and physics because we deals with a lot of structural analysis and designs. So you discover that it is, when we have reached certain level that we discover how important the mathematics is. So it's the same thing applicable in our profession. Like realtors, as realtors, we are consultants, and as long as you don't build a good rapport with your clients, I'm telling you, you will fail. You will have a lot of challenges in selling your properties, because most people, they think that once someone reach out to you, that means that's all, is ready to buy your property. But there are three things that every investor is after, and he wants to be sure that these things are intact first before he do business with you. So if you are getting value, please type I'm getting value. These three things are very, very important. By the time you know your the investor is by the time the client was able to get all this information, and he believe in what you said, definitely he will buy the property. And number one is security. Number one is security. When we are talking about security in real estate, it's thinking about how secure is this property. That's why the properties comes with title, right? As long as the property does not have any title, we know that the most popular title is the certificate of occupancy, which is the CO4, or the RO4, the right of occupancy, right? These are the title documents that are very, very important, right? So by the time you present, those title documents to him, he believes that yes, this property is genuine, right? Apart from that, we, you know, clients don't buy. They buy for security. We said for security, one, because when we are talking about security, we discuss about the title, of the property, and then also in respect to that, apart from the title document, another security is most of these investors, they buy for future what, for future. So most of them, they invest in order to secure their future. This is another form of security, right? This is another form of security. So, in order to protect their future, in order to secure their future, by securing a property in that location, property that will appreciate in value, right? This is one of the most important thing that is why when you are talking to them, you need to talk about numbers, the history, the story of how that place developed, like let's say in the next 5 to 10 years, what will be the projection of properties in that location? Like if you go back to my video, you watch my previous video, the one that I posted about Garnet Resort City Estate. This property, we started selling it at the rate of 20 million naira in November 2024, November, December 2024. But as of 2025, March 2025, the property was going for 40 million naira. So by the time you are talking to them about this, they will discover that yes, there is value, right? They believe that with time, this property will even go higher than that, right? But when you're talking to them about property, you have property in location, but you're not talking about numbers. Investors, they are interested in numbers. They're after numbers, right? If you like, you should have a very good title document, but without numbers, when you are talking to them without numbers, nobody want to invest in a property that will not appreciate in value, right? So please, if you are getting value, type I'm getting value. And if you have any question, you can type in your question and I will answer all your questions, right? So we talked about security, and then another thing is status, right? Status. People will be surprised, like, what does status has to do with real estate? See, let me tell you something. A lot of investors, they are buying properties not because they wanted to buy. It's because of what? It's because of status. Let me use this as an example. If they call Metama to you right now, Metama, we know, is one of the most popular places in Abuja. When they are talking about Metama, you know, if that name, if someone, said Metama, what comes to your mind? If someone is talking about Metama, what comes to your mind? He's talking about status, right? That's why you discover that the rental yield in Metama is different from Lugbe, right? It's different from Lugbe because Metama is one of the high broad area that is not meant for everyone. So someone, because of status, he will say, no, like as wealthy as I am, I can't live in Lugbe. Let me live in Metama, right? Because they want to live in locations whereby the big men and the big women, business is going on in that location. How will you feel living in a location where the president is also living? The president, your president. Just imagine right now. Let's just say Tinubu is your neighbor. How will you feel? Right? How will you feel if Tinubu is your neighbor? You see, you'll be proud of yourself. And that is one thing with some of these investors. Some of them, that is what they want. Some, if you reach out to them and you said you have properties in Lugbe, or you have properties in Karasana, or you have properties in, they don't care. They will say, no, 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 it's not this. I don't invest my money in such properties, such kinds of properties. Because of what? Because they are after. So that is why when you are reaching out to them, you should be able to pay attention and listen to what these people are saying to you, right? Listen carefully. Some of them, they will reach out to you. It's not because they wanted to buy the property that you post, the one that you posted on social media. They are just interested in getting, if you could help them to secure a property in certain locations. Because of what? Because of their status. And some of them, when you reach out to them, you're talking about properties of 200 million naira, 300 million naira. They don't want to do business with you because they are talking about properties in billions of nairas. Like when you're buying property in Metama, you should know that we are talking about billions of nairas, not hundreds of millions. We are talking about billions of naira. So if you're getting value, please type I'm getting value, right? Type I'm getting value. So we talked about what? Talked about security, and also we talk about status, right? So the last but not the least is legacy. Legacy. You know, real estate is the only investment that is tangible, is physical, is something that you can see, is something that you can feel compared to stocks, bonds, or other things. And one major thing with real estate is something that you can leave as a legacy to your children, to your great grandchildren, to your future generations to come. But you see bonds and stocks and others, they can crash within a short period of time. Like recently, I was just going through, I discovered that even the investment, people that invest in some of these stock, I discovered that everything just went down as a result of this Middle East crisis, right? So I discovered that a lot of business were affected as a result of that. But guess what? Anything that has to do with property, nothing. Anything that has to do with property. See, even Dubai right now, the rate of sales, the rate of you know investors going to Dubai to buy properties, even with what happened recently, is something that is just mysterious. It seems like people were just waiting for something like this to happen to go and buy properties. Do you know that just within 1 week, Dubai were able to sell properties in billions of dollars? So just see. So a lot of people, they are after legacy, right? Some, they buy the properties, they just want to invest in properties just for legacy purpose, right? Just for legacy purpose. So if you're getting value, please type I'm getting value. And also, if you have any question, you can type in your question in the comment box. Are we getting value? Please, if we are getting value, type I'm getting value. I'm getting value. Are we happy to be here? Are we happy to be here? So if we are getting value, please type I'm getting value. So I would like to stop here for today, and then we'll see, we take it off uh, in our next video, so that we will also discuss more about this topic, because this is a very, very broad topic, and this is something that I want us to pay more attention to. So if you have any question, please, if you have any question, you can type in your question. Let me attend to all your questions, and so that we can close for the day. You can refresh your this thing, so that you can refresh your streaming, since we are streaming live due to network glitch. Maybe you are left behind. Please type in your question so that I can attend to all your question. And if you don't have any question, I would like to stop here. Please, do you have any question? Any question? Are we together? Any question? You can refresh. Any question? All right. If you can hear me, please type I can hear you. Type I can hear you. Some people are writing I'm getting value, I'm getting value. So I think we are done for today. And if you want us to always take advantage of this platform and share, okay, okay, please, you can type in your question. No questions? All right, thank you so much, and do have a wonderful day. Bye.